Hey, all right, what's up? Much love, many blessings. Now we're moving on to Taurus. Now, Taurus is going to be very interesting because this season with the Leo energy that's transpiring, we're moving through this Venus in Cancer energy, a lot of emotional things going on. Leo wants us to kind of get moving and kind of start having some fun. Now for Taurus, it's interesting because we're coming off of the energy from last season when we were in the, what is it, Cancer? No. When we were in the Cancer season, but Venus was going through, I believe, its Gemini phases, so there was a lot of polarity going on emotionally. And for you, Taurus, this affected your relationships, and you were very comfortable with the state of how things were happening in your life, your loving relationships. How are you receiving your love languages, your affection, and just things that were going on within your household? How are you receiving the comforts within your household? And some of these things started to shift and change, so it brought your awareness and mentality focused on these things. So there was a lot that you had to adjust to because you were moving into some spaces that weren't necessarily the most easy for you. You didn't really want to make these shifts. So this time it's great that we're moving into this transition because you need to see the opportunities that are available. There's been a sense that there's a need to worry or just really feel like, you know, in one end, you may have been questioning the nature of what you've been putting into your love dynamics, but in particular, you may have not been looking at yourself. You may have been looking at the nature of the connection as it relates to your significant other, and more so putting the for lack of a better word, the blame or the reasons for why things what they are what they are on them, instead of actually taking an adequate look at the things that you're bringing to the table. But a lot of that's coming from the fact that you felt like you've already been doing everything that you need to do. This Leo season, with its luminosity, its sensitivity to Cancer, there's a lot of truth that is flying around. And the thing about truth is we don't always honor it, but it's there. So there is a lot of truth energetically in the awareness and in the energetic field. So right now during this time, you're trying to really just tune in and see what it is that we can surrender to, what you can surrender to during this time. What does your spirit and your energetic field want you to surrender and open up to? We got this Leo season, 5th house vibes. You know, we're trying to get some activations going. The inner child is ready to get moving. Households are ready to get stirred up. You know, you're ready to wake up that mind. We got a big sense of yellow, so we got to move some personal boundaries. We got to move our comfortability. We got to do a self-check with our personal boundaries to make sure that people who are within our spaces are not allowed to be there. But there's also a sense that we have to make some informed choices to empower what it is that we already know. Sometimes we're just operating within our, for lack of a better word, knowing, but there's nothing actually having us apply it, so we don't know how practical it actually is. And there's a lot going on with you in your higher realm energies that's kind of got you not revisiting or reevaluating your higher thought processes. And a lot of this has to do with some of your lower energies, like in your solar plexus or within your personal boundaries. You're thinking these things, but the thing is about knowing. A lot of us have knowing, a lot of us have intuitive sensations, but are you actually acting on it? Are you actually doing something about it? Are you actually empowering yourself? One of the things about Taurus that you're really guilty of is being passive aggressive, especially emotionally. And if you're facing a situation where you don't feel emotionally comfortable, then you're going to be passive about it or put your energy and work and efforts into your work or redirect it. And that can be good because sometimes transmuting and channeling can be really good when we don't have a proper outlet for our emotions. But this is a confirmation that there's more that you need to do. Personal boundaries is a confirmation there's more you need to do. Are you allowing people and things, because it's not just people. Sometimes we allow people who are not healthy for us into our personal boundaries. We eat things that we shouldn't be eating and they make us sick, and we get full off of food that's too good for us. And you know, it rots our teeth, it rots our insides, it's too sweet, we get spoiled. Are we allowing things within our energetic space that are spoiling us, that are not allowing us to own ourselves, to empower ourselves, and to be disciplined in what it is that we know that we truly want? Because the big thing about choice is being able to say no to something that you truly don't need, or instead of just accepting. Sometimes we're not saying no because it's harmful, or we don't choose the operate or to exercise our no because it's not big enough, it's not serious enough, it's not big enough a threat. Sometimes you just need to exercise your no because it's just not for you, or you could have something better. You ever have like so many calories in a day and it's like, you know, I could eat that sweet, or I could save it and eat this sweet or this calorie intake that I really, really want and indulge. There's nothing wrong with indulgence. You can indulge in something that you truly, really want, and then it doesn't feel like a waste. Then it doesn't feel like you just did it just to do it. What's something, you know, and you're, as a sign of Venus, you are one of the signs that has indulging and love down to the T. So when you indulge in something, it's time for you to healthily indulge so that you can healthily revisit and come across the things that you truly want. Sometimes when you're just presented with something and you take it just because it's there, it's not as fulfilling. And there are things in your energetic space that are just there in your within your personal boundaries that you're just utilizing, taking advantage of, and expressing simply because they're there, simply out of the convenience. Are you doing enough work? Because if you're not doing enough work, then there's a sense that there's this sloth energy. And sloth, to me, in a sense, is not just being lazy. It's like being physically and spiritually lazy. Wombat spirit. Be at home. Okay. Are you in the right energetic field? Be at home and personal boundaries being here means that we got to do a self-check, not just with our inner self, but our home space, and ask who is operating here and who is maintaining and holding the rules. You may have a home, but you may not be regulating or empowering yourself to actually establish what the rules and guidelines are. You're used to, you know, you got that Uranus energy flowing and operating within a lot of your not Uranus. You have that traditional energy operating within your energetic field. It's really sourced in your DNA. That's why you're so by the book about things. You're very traditional. And it's important that when you get caught up, that you learn to create new rules, you learn to create new foundations, you learn to be authentic, because rules and guidelines are only supposed to be there to help you to stay within what is realistic for you. Is everything going on in your home space and in your energetic field realistic? Are you feeling empowered within the projects and the work that you're doing? You're really big on work. The only reason you're able to enjoy being at home is because of the work that you do. Are you not able to enjoy being at home because you don't feel like you're doing the right type of work? A man that don't work don't eat. What is it that you don't feel that you're putting out that's not allowing you to enjoy your home space? How that mind is really what gets to me. When I feel assertiveness, I feel the word resonating as assertiveness, but I feel that energetic distortion. It's not a block, it's a distortion. You're getting too much noise because you're supposed to be doing a gut check, checking with your womb, checking with your stomach, checking with your solar plexus, checking with your knowing and clarity. But the only thing getting you off is your mind. What have you been taking in? What have you been ingesting? Why is your throat chakra so saturated with information? Have you been eating too much food? If you eat too much food and you're constantly eating because you're worried, your stomach is too loud. You can't hear your intuition because your stomach is so fucking loud. Why are you eating so much shit? You are taking in too much shit. You're eating too much shit. You're listening to too many thoughts. You're taking in too much data. You need to filter and decide what's important and what's not. I hope this message is resonating for you. It's time for you to tidy up your home space. There's a lot of fun that you can get back to in reconstructing and I want to say remodeling. There's going to be some remodeling of your home space, or you may be wanting to remodel your home, or maybe even rearrange the bedroom so that you can get that feng shui energy moving right. Do something for yourself that feels right within your calling, but whatever it is, it needs to be new and it needs to be for you, and it doesn't need to come from a place of external projections that are operating incorrectly within your personal, operating inside your personal boundaries. When you have people who are in your personal boundaries that aren't supposed to be there, stealing or misusing the energy, that's indemnity. The only difference between indemnity and stealing is indemnity is stealing from the inside, so that means you thought that these people, these energies, these things were supposed to be there, but they're not. So what are you going to do about it? Let this message resonate within your spirit and within your mindfulness. And as you move through the Leo season, I hope that this message is able to work and get within your spirit in a way that you're able to take and do something real with it. Let this message resonate within your spirit. I'm really rooting for you. I'm rooting for myself. Much love, many blessings, and ashe.